everybody, and welcome to a new episode from Bugle Rats. This week we're doing Wasson number 5. So this week we're going to be talking about the new Dark Angels. It's very controversial, lots of good, lots of bad, hate, love for it. So got a couple of guests on today, so let's see who's on the channel with us. What's on then?
What's on?
How's it going?
You introduce yourselves, because people probably won't recognise you. Well, maybe they do, but...
Wow. Nobody recognises his face, but yeah, sure, I'll start. I'm Will. I've been playing 40k since about 2003. I help run events with Redreath Wargaming events along with Graham down at in Redreath. And my main army is Custodes, and I'm really looking forward to chomping at the bit for some Dark Angels today.
I'm Graham. I've been sort of playing since second ed, 3/4, and then had a bit of a break, and then decided that I was going to get Tyranids at the tail end of 7th, which was complicated to say the least. Like Will said, I'm based in Redreath as well, so little trip up to Bugle, but yeah, keen soon when we're allowed.
And what Darky army are you building right now?
I am building some fish people right now. I've got enough nids, and I sold my Blood Angels because they were just a bit too powerful. And I was like, yeah, let's go for some more bottom tier armies.
Right, so we're going to talk Dark Angels.
Oh yeah,
Controversial.
Has been a bit, hasn't it? You know, people have seen the new rules and have decried power creep and everything, haven't they?
But I'm on two sides of it. One side, I agree, like, yes, it's too much, maybe. But on the other side, it's good at, so far, I think every codex that's come out has been top.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say any's been crap on it.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, every codex has been super crazy powerful, you know, and they're all able to compete against each other.
Yeah.
Out of interest, what in the new codex do you think is what aren't you a fan of? What do you think is a bit too much?
All the Deathwing. No,
well, go through all the stuff, but
from page
all
one
of it combined is maybe a bit too much. Like certain bits of it is like I agree with it, no problem. Yeah. But when you start looking at what combos you can do and things, you can kind of go a bit jank, I think.
Definitely. I think one of the biggest strengths of this codex in particular, out of all the ones that have come out, are the sheer amount of options that the Dangles have available to them. Because not only are they running
super doctrines.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, let's not just have one, let's have 3. Like, yeah, they lost so obviously Dark Angels used to have Relentless Hunt, which was in Devastated Doctrine, used to have extra range and all that stuff, which was nice for some things, but it wasn't amazing. It was kind of confused. Like, I think Dark Angels have always struggled like with their identity, because they essentially are a 3-in-1 army.
Yeah.
And I think GW with this book have sort of streamlined where they want to go, like, you know, and they've made it viable to run, you know, Ravenwing, Deathwing, Greenwing, a mix or whatever, and that has given the Dark Angels such a deep tool set.
Yeah, that's one thing I do agree with. Like, now they can actually play the army how they want to.
Yeah.
Without being punished for it.
Yeah, like, you can play pure Deathwing, which, in my opinion, right now is probably the strongest.
It's like super Custodes.
It's like, as Custodes, like, Custodes is my main army, and I'm looking at these Dark Angels, I'm like, oh, a bit of like penis envy and all that stuff. But I can see they just got given so much. They can do everything. You know, they can interact in every phase. They can take away stuff that you do. They can rumble with anything that's thrown at them, which is really, it's strong. It's definitely probably the deepest book in terms of like rules and abilities out of all the 9th codexes that have come out so far.
It's 3 armies. It's a solid chat. I mean, it's like it's 3 armies that you can run together. Obviously, there's a tax for that, but man, it's what Dark Angels should have had for a long time. Maybe not we'll have to see how Power comes out. But
yeah, well,
I mean, Ravenwing is what White Scars wish they were.
yeah, to put it into perspective, like Ravenwing's probably the weakest part of the Codex, and yet they give White Scars like why can't we be like Ravenwing? You know,
You think that's what a lot of people are having issues with, especially like White Scars, maybe even like Space Wolves and stuff like that.
yeah.
Because like Dark Angels are getting +1 to hit if they don't move. Improves in combat.
Yeah. They've kind of like
Trixie.
Dark Angels have got like a bit of everything, haven't they? Because but you have to be taxed in a certain ways to do it. Because you can get the Blood Angels trait, the +1 to advance and charge, but that's a Warlord trait. You get the Space Wolves keen senses, but that's only if you've remained stationary. You get the you don't get the White Scars advance and shoot without penalty, really.
But there's so many ways to add +1 to shoot.
But so many,
like
shoot.
cheap ways as well. So you can negate that -1.
Yeah. So looking at it, why don't we look at what the Dark Angels have been given? I suppose, like, I think.
So we'll start with the Ravenwing and Deathwing detachments. So obviously we've got the Vanguard and the Outrider detachments.
Yeah. So I think that's really like from a list building perspective, a really interesting thing that they've done, because people have been wanting to play pure Deathwing or pure Ravenwing armies for a long time without being punished for it.
And now you can.
And now you can. So now it's like if you run a Vanguard detachment and everything in your army has the Deathwing and or Inner Circle keywords, and your Warlords is a part of that detachment, you get refunded. Well, you don't get refunded. You get 3 CP for that detachment, so it costs you nothing, like a battalion. Likewise with the Outrider detachment, if it's all Ravenwing, gets a second company keyword, and then you get 3 CP back. You can run all your bikes. The important thing to note as well, not only can you run your pure Deathwing and pure Ravenwing armies, but certain units in those lists now, if you take them in those attachments, gain OBSEC.
Yeah.
So
all the
you can also pay to upgrade your characters and vehicles and stuff, can't you? Give them the keywords.
Yeah. So
it's got a captain with OBSEC.
Yeah. How much you're looking at for that? What's the cost like average? If you average, because I don't have a table to hand. I know that was on one.
So it's really like a lot of
transports.
It's a lot of transport. So like Land Raiders and stuff like that. Mastodons, Spartan assault tanks, all that sort of stuff. You can pay points to make them Deathwing. Now, giving them Deathwing doesn't give them any benefit other than you can run them in that detachment, so you can get your 3 CP back for being pure. Which is really cool. Yeah, most characters have it, but the captain, you upgrade him to Inner Circle, or to give him the Deathwing keyword. Your regular captain, he then gets Inner Circle, so he gets perma transhuman and all that stuff, and it's good. I think it's having a whole army.
It's going to be so hard to like shift a bunch of Terminators, like heavy intercessors or something like that, off the objective.
Yeah, well,
you just sat there, wound on 4s, objective secure. What are you going to do?
Because -1 damage strat, is it? Or there's something about -1 damage?
Yes, so there is the relic that's out called the Pennant of Remembrance. Say that one fast many times. So basically, before in the index, that used to give a feel no pain aura to Deathwing units. Now it gives 1 core Deathwing infantry unit in your command phase -1 damage. So
it's just really resilient.
Yeah, so you look at your Deathwing Knights. Okay, you give them -1 damage. They've got 3 wounds. They've got storm shields for that 4-up invuln and +1 to their saving throws. There'll be an apothecary somewhere, so they'll have the feel no pain shrugs. Taking -3 wounds apiece, they are going to be a nightmare to shift.
As someone who did in the last tournament we did get to run before lockdown 3.0, crashed 2 Hive Tyrants into 5 Deathwing when they didn't have all these buffs, and they just wouldn't die.
Yeah.
It's like smite, psychic screen, shoot in.
Another important thing to note with this as well: only certain units get OBSEC when you take them as part of these attachments. So your regular Deathwing Terminators, and then your Terminator Assault Squad from the main Marine book, and the Relic Terminators, so like your Cataphracti variants and all that stuff, they gain the Objective Secured ability. Your Deathwing Knights and your Deathwing Command Squads won't get it. But if you really want to go ham on OBSEC, you take the Rights of War Warlord trait and have the bubble of OBSEC around your captain. Or Apothecary.
Space Marine Codex as well.
Yeah, which is really good. Blade Guard. So anything that has a Deathwing keyword, gain Inner Circle.
Yeah.
So that means Blade Guard, who already are an amazing unit,
I even more fucking broken.
are absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing in a Deathwing thing.
That's the thing. I think Dark Angels, you're just not going to be able to shove them off the table.
No, especially with the changes to the While We Stand We Fight secondary.
Yeah.
So you pick the most expensive
units.
Expensive
That's
units.
going to be 3 Terminators.
It's going to be your Deathwing squads, and you're like, right, I'll just take my 15 points now.
Yeah.
And then they've actually got some pair with some nice secondaries as well, don't they? But I mean, I think we're going into secondaries later. I take it, but I just know that bring it down.
Secondaries while we're on it.
With Deathwing, it's the summit in your back line that cannot be killed with OBSEC.
So
you can turn off someone else's OBSEC.
Yeah. So in terms of secondaries, like
mad.
in how I think Dark Angels are probably going to shape up, like competitively. So nothing to note in my intro about me. I'm more of a competitively minded player. I do like playing in tournaments and stuff like that.
You know, just play with the meta armies though, and I like a challenge.
Well, you know, I'm definitely not a meta whack chaser. I like my armies and I like trying to get the best out of them. So I'm looking at
Stubborn
Dark Angels going forwards.
Oh, give it.
And I think with Deathwing, with the While We Stand We Fight secondary and the Stubborn Defiance secondary, which is in the Dark Angels book. So now the Stubborn Defiance secondary is you pick an objective after both armies have deployed. You're going to pick your home objective most likely.
Yep.
From turn 2, you score points for every turn you consecutively hold it. So 2, 3, 5, and 5, unit? Up for a max of 15.
Yeah. Same unit in your command phase.
Yeah. And it has to have OBSEC. So you put your 5-man, 10-man, however big your Terminator squad wants to be, and you just shove them on that objective, and you just be like, come at me. Me. But the thing is, if it is taken from you, not contested, but if it's taken from you, you have to start over.
Yeah.
Which is like quite it's quite crippling if that does happen. But
you're going to pick your battles in that one though, like so you're maybe not doing it against something like Harlequins because they're so fast they're going to be up in your face and be like, nope, mine. You might be hard to shift, but they're going to put a lot of resources into it.
You see that, but I don't think Harlequins would be able to shift them off.
I don't think so as well, because what you would do, you would just put your unit within 3 inches, like, so, they have to charge you to get within 3. They're not going to kill you. No. You kill them back, and jobs are good.
I guess it would be such a big trade, actually, I guess, yeah.
I think many armies would struggle with that, unless they got a lot of
18 spore mines.
And a lot of armies struggle with fast stuff that can get there and do damage to take them off the point. There's not many armies that could do it, maybe like, certain fast assault armies like White Scars, Blood Angels, potentially. But then you would just weigh up the battlefield. And
with your transhuman and your reduced damage and your 4-pin run.
By the time you actually draw it, you can now score about 10 points off it.
Yeah.
That's what you're aiming for, really.
Yeah, you're going to score quite a few points. And obviously, looking at this all combines really well with the Oath of Moment secondary.
Yeah.
Because you could take all 3, While We Stand We Fight, Oath of Moment, and Stubborn Defiance, because they're all in different categories. all Deathwing are fearless, so you're always going to be getting, you get a minimum 5 points, minimum for taking Oath a moment, because you're never going to fail a morale check. You could fall back, but you're not really going to fall back with Deathwing. And then holding the center again, just take a unit, park it in the middle.
On the falling back one, that is a bit of a dodgy one for Dark Angel, is it?
Yeah, so basically, if you're Deathwing and all this stuff, you can't fall back unless you roll you have to take a leadership test.
Yeah, you got to roll under or hot.
You got to roll under.
Is it old school leadership test? So 2d6 or
2d6. If you roll under, you can fall back, which is cool. But unless you're in combat with a fallen unit. If you're in combat with a fallen unit, of which there's not many, it's mostly just power armor marines, you can't fall back at all. But let's be honest, that fallen unit is probably dying pretty quickly against Deathwing.
And since we're talking about the fallen, I need to get my comment in at least once, and I'll only do it once. Will, I know how you feel. It's really nice to see an overpowered Chaos Space Marine Codex finally come out. I've made the cheap joke.
There we go.
As
cheap
the
joke.
Expert Angel player. Got it out of my system.
Definitely. I bet the amount of times people say that, I'm just like, just numb to it now.
I think another good secondary they've got is that Death on the Wind.
The Ravenwing one.
Points for every unit destroyed by Ravenwing unit that's moved or charged.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's a really nice one. It's a really nice one if you're going pure Ravenwing.
Yeah, if you're running pure Ravenwing, why would you not take it?
Yeah,
against like MSU sort of armies. Yeah.
Against MSU armies, you would take that a lot. Like, it's definitely not the strongest. It's
all day.
Like, I would never run this unless every unit in my army was Ravenwing. So unless I was going Outrider, but just to be having a reward just for moving fast is great, because obviously that ties in with obviously the new Ravenwing specials like the Jink. So as long as you keep moving, you've got a 5+ invuln.
Yeah.
And if you advance, you get a 4+ invuln.
But it's until you stop moving. So more importantly, you have it turn 1.
You have it turn 1, because like before, if Dark Angels didn't get the first turn, all their Ravenwing stuff would just be like, okay, so we don't have an invuln. We have to spend a CP on high speed focus to get a 4+ invuln now. Luckily, high speed focus is returned, so you probably. But it's not. You don't need it as much. You probably use it on like your flyers or your attack bikes that you don't want to advance. Maybe even the new storm speeders. But I think there are better options for pure Ravenwing than the storm speeders right now. But,
does that lead Lycy on to Ravenwing? By the way, I think it might do. Which is, if I was going to do Dark Angels, Ravenwing all day.
Ravenwing definitely is cool, man. Like, this Dark Angels is so cool.
I'd say the Deathwing, that's nails, but it's not my grinding style. Like, I want to go fast.
So obviously with Ravenwing, they get the speed of the Raven, don't they? So Devastator Doctrine +3 to move, and they can all shoot all their weapons with -1 hit.
Yeah, definitely. So cool.
First turn, 4+ involve, and you're shooting all your weapons.
And a pre-game move.
So this is amazing. So now, so this is the new Dark Angel Super Doctrine. So as I said before, it's like they used to have the extra range one. So now, as we know, the Dark Angel's chapter tactic is Grim Resolve. If you remain stationary, apart from piling in and consolidating, you get +1 to hit, and you automatically pass attrition test. So you can only ever lose 1 model. Now they've given your army 3 super doctrines basically that affect each of the 3 wings: your Deathwing, your Ravenwing, your Green Wing, and that take a place doing certain, which, depending on which doctrine you're in. So, and Ravenwing, have the Devastator doctrine, and being able to advance and shoot all your weapons, albeit at -1. And the thing is, well, rapid fire, a lot of things like this used to be like rapid fire become assault weapons. None of that stuff. No, your rapid fire stays as rapid fire. If you get within half range,
get double tap,
get the shots. It's so cool. And to have movements, you could be like, right, 2 squads of Outriders, zip on the objective. I'm going to just like do some chip damage against some chaff or whatever like that. The ATVs, put them with the Gatling guns. Yeah, because they're not core and getting rerolls anyway. They're actually so good to be advancing around the board with it.
Yeah,
absolutely. The Talon Master as well, because there's this new the Arbiter's Gaze relic. If you really want to, they always hit on a 2+. If you advance or not, doesn't matter. Go up with your Talon Master.
Even in Overwatch, I believe.
Even in Overwatch,
which is mental. I don't actually know how shooty is a Talon Master.
It's got twin assault cannon and twin heavy bolter.
So it's got enough DACA to actually potentially warrant that sort of relic spend.
Think of it like a Tau Cold Star with triple cyclic ion blasters, but better.
Hey, don't hurt me like that, man.
Yeah, that's it. So that's the Ravenwing special doctrine, and then if we're in tactical doctrine, that's when the Green Wing one comes in, and
which you're never going to see on the board.
Yeah, isn't it?
Except for plasma receptors, because you can go damage 3.
Oh yeah. Definitely get into that. But yeah, the Green Wing, I believe, is if you're in engagement range, your infantry, non-Deathwing, mind.
Yeah.
Can make shooting attacks to models they're engagement range with, albeit hitting on a 5+. But going back to the Dark Angels chapter tactic, if you remain stationary, you get +1 to hit, so you're hitting on 4s. This doesn't apply to heavy or blast weapons, though.
No, it's only rapid fire and assault.
Rapid fire and assault, so no heavy metal rifles, no plasma inceptors. Unfortunately, that's nice
for your troop tax if you are taking a battalion or a patrol.
If you're getting Green Wing and you've just been tagged up and they've not killed you, they have to put. You can just shoot back and then fight.
In tactical as well. So you're going, oh look, I've got more AP as well on my -1 bolt rifle, which is now -2 with 2 shots.
Hitting on 4s. Still able to get rerolls and everything. It's really cool. Good on Eradicators for the standard Eradicators. It's actually really nice
because they need help.
They definitely need help. Yeah. And then there's I think there's nothing more from the tactical one. It's just that, isn't it?
It's just that tactical.
And then onto the L Spice. Of the Deathwing. Oh,
I'm sensing, Willis, as a Custodes player. Your Custodes are going on the shelf, and I feel Deathwing maybe.
I will be because it's been so long since I've played a game. I haven't played with my
Custodes 2.0.
I haven't played with the new Dark Angels too much yet. But the Deathwing.
So, assault doctrine. What's happening?
Okay, so once you hit turn 3. You're in the assault doctrine. Now, bear in mind, you can already have a full army of these dudes. Okay. All of your Deathwing dudes are getting full rerolls to wounds against character models and anything with wounds 8+.
I don't like it.
Oh.
It's like my Nidzilla list is just like going.
Come at me, bro.
I don't have enough invens in the world.
Oh my god. Your Deathwing Knights just being to go against Knights, Hive Titans, the Silent King, whatever the hell they want, man.
40, why not?
Morty. Oh my god.
I remember a week ago everyone was worried about Morty and
Deathwing Knights against that. Well, okay. I will admit here.
What people think, it's only re-rolls, but then you got to think, turn 3 is when most armies are mid-table. They got all their big units up there.
Yep.
And you're just going to go, right, sucker punch time.
Literally. You've probably already got rid of their chaff, with your bolter shooting and all that stuff. And you're in here to cause some damage now. Going on to the point about Mortarion though, it's unlikely that it'll affect Mortarion because players who take Mortarion will usually take the Gloaming Blow Warlord trait, which you can't re-roll against Mortarion himself anyway. But against other things, it's really.
Is that an aura effect, mate?
No, it's not. It's not. It's not. It's not an aura.
It's not an aura effect. Okay.
For when we come across it later. But yeah, no, it's so good. So basically, yeah, being able to hit in against like people's characters, and a lot of like people's characters are big like chaos demons. You know, they're an army that massively relies on their characters to do the damage, and the Deathwing Knights will. Even the guys are perfect. This will be happily, rumbling onto them.
From me being a Space Wolf player, turn 3 is literally like, right, let's go time. Now, turn 3, say I've got Bjorn, Ragnar, my Dreads and stuff like that there.
Yep.
So anywhere near it.
You.
Oh,
you're
yeah.
getting some other shenanigans we'll talk about.
Yeah.
And you're literally just getting wipe it all off the table.
Yeah. It's
And as an ex-Blood Angels player as well, I'll be like, all I'm thinking is with
some of the stratagem, like when we get to the stratagem section, we'll go more into it. But Deathwing can rumble. They can rumble with anything that wants to get in close with them. Custodies, Space Wolves, Demons,
Sanger Guards.
I think
yeah.
I think that brings it back to why I think it's a bit too broken, because this army can do so much.
It can do so
many other armies.
Yeah. What my counterpoint to that will be, obviously, like this is not coming from. It's just something I've noticed, not like I have any bias or anything like that. There's a lot that Dark Angels can do, but it costs a lot. Not only in points, but also in detachment slots, and also in CP cost to get everything fully running with all the nice stuff.
Masses of 1 CPs. You're looking at a lot of 2 to 3.
It's It's like you're probably starting mostly on 8 to 10 CP because you want the extra Wall of Traits and Relics. The CPs, that stratagems that really do a lot of damage, they're all 2 CP. There's not really many cheap ones.
Also, on the command point basis, you are going to be running multiple detachments for sure. Because limited HQ slots.
Absolutely. Like I will probably
need a librarian in there.
Yeah. I myself will probably run a Vanguard and a patrol. I think that's going to be the standard. Unless someone can find a way to make Ravenwing really work, which they're just not as strong as Deathwing. But I highly see a Vanguard and a patrol. Or maybe even like what some people have been doing, just a Vanguard and auxiliary tactic. But then you don't get your fucking Grim Resolve and all that stuff. But if it's with Plasma Scepters, you don't really care.
Because I believe, from what I've seen on battle boards, 2 librarians are going to be a must-take.
Certainly one.
Certainly one.
Chief librarian, probably.
2. I reckon 2.
More efficient.
Well, there's a lot of HQ slots being fought for right now, which is a good. Again, this is why the Dark Angel book is so good. It's so deep, where it's like it's a good problem to have. Like,
you want everything.
When you want everything, it is so good. Another special unit of mention I haven't come across with the Deathwing is the Deathwing Command Squad.
Ugh,
now,
3 ones. I did see this earlier in another review.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh, you got a Deathwing captain there. Okay. Your first one's free on the house.
Yeah.
You take that.
Yeah.
Doesn't take an elite slot.
Take up slots, yeah. Because obviously, there's cheeky ways of getting
7 elite squads.
Yeah, with thingies. So Deathwing Command Squads. What's better than a 2-man Terminator squad? It costs about 70 to 80 odd points, depending on how you load them out. Usually one with claws, one with Thunderhammer and Storm Shield. That can deep strike, they can do actions, they're permanent transhuman, they can got the bodyguard rule, so if you've got a character within 3 inches of this less than 10 wounds in them, you just can't shoot them, even if they're the closest model. If they're within 3 inches of those bodyguards, can't shoot them. And that you can have anywhere you want on the board. Deep strike them in, do a deploy scramblers action if you want. Hold an objective somewhere. They're going to take a lot of, dedication to shift. 6 wounds, perma-transhuman, 1 with a +1 saving throws at a 2-up, 4+ invuln. It's so good. And like you say, Graham, you get 1 for free if you take a Deathwing captain, and it's like, very nice. Very nice.
You can do like a 40 Terminator Vanguard pure list or something crazy. Like,
don't give people ideas.
I would probably see at least 2 command squads about. Like, obviously, fluff wise, I'd only ever take 1. But if you're looking to squeeze the most you can out of this codex, and like, you know, if you want to go to tables, yeah, and you want to go to tables and go like with the positive record, you probably look at two command squads just for their absolute versatility.
So let's move on to psychic powers.
Oh baby!
Let's just skip over it.
Let's just say right now,
there's 2. You're always taking them.
I know there's
never casting smite.
Okay,
so
this is
apparently Dark Angels are the best psychic army now as well.
Well, they may not be the best psychics, but they certainly have the best psychic discipline. In Terramancy is amazing.
Is that the 3 for 1?
Hands down.
I get the names mixed up. Is that the 3 for 1?
What's that?
In Terramancy. Is that 3 for 1? Turn off.
Yes. So Terramancy is the name of the discipline and the powers. So yeah, let's go through the powers if you want.
Do you run us through, Martin?
We'll
discuss.
Warcast 6, 18 inches. Any enemy unit takes 1 mortal wound and fights last.
Now, even if it didn't do a mortal wound, it's an amazing power.
Yeah. Just
for lols, you take a mortal wound on top of it.
Fight last is
and the important thing with it as well, it's the right wording. You're not eligible to fight until all other units have done so, which means you can't use the counter-offensive stratagem and all that stuff.
As recently updated in the FAQ.
Yeah, so
confirmed
for that warp charge, for that range, you look at some scary big man unit, Sanger Guard, Mortarion, Death Shroud Terminators, and you just be like, cool, you're fighting last. You want to come against me on this objective? You're going to be fighting last.
Yeah.
Fight last abilities are so powerful right now. As like, you know, we've seen them in the Death Guard Codex with the Foul Blightspawn.
Yeah.
Fight last abilities are so strong and can really swing a game. Yeah,
as Space Wolf Prayer Armor Rust auto take.
Yeah.
You when's the last time you saw a Wolf list? Like even like just not even like super tuned up, but just like we're having a game, but it wants to be a game. You're taking Rust because
literally, and it's just another access that Dark Angels can have to fight last.
Nonsense.
They have a psychic power. They can take a Judiciar, who also has the aura of fight last. And if you really want to, you could take a Whirlwind and use a stratagem and be like, you're fighting last as well.
I feel like there's another way as well. I feel like there's a relic.
That psychic power brings back to the turn 3 with the rerolls.
Yeah.
You're getting attacked by Assault Army. This is their main time. They're bringing their like punchy unit. Okay, you're fighting last, and I'm rerolling all my win rolls against you now.
Yeah. So
game over.
Yeah. So you're happening. So this is happening. Like when you're fighting against, let's be honest, it's going to be a mostly Deathwing army. This is against. You come in. You need maximum. Yeah. You need maximum efficiency to really break through. You know, the Deathwing defensive stats. To make your combat unit to do so, to fight last, lose models when the Deathwing hit you first. You're losing so much efficiency.
I mean, how many models are going to be left?
That's it. It makes it very difficult for combat armies. It takes a bit of clever play, because obviously you can just be like, right, cool, well, I'm not going to charge this turn. I'm going to go get an objective instead. You need to, savvy players can sort of like weigh up where the points can be scored in the game and kind of play around it. But for some armies, when they have certain units that really need to do the heavy lifting for them, this is such a clutch power. A clutch power. And for Warp Charge 6 as well, it's fair, it's pretty good.
And then on top of that, you can use Aviation, I think it's called.
Oh, Aversion. Yes, right.
So pick enemy unit and -1 to all their hit rolls and -1 to the AP with 6 to the caster.
Yeah, I really like this power.
So this is -1 attack, -1 to hit.
Yes.
So it basically cuts efficiency in half.
Yeah.
Again, yeah.
If you combine that with the first power, the Mind Worm, you just your assault unit's doing nothing to you.
Do you think situationally there's a unit in the game, given your defensive buffs as well, that you'd ever need to do both? Like a Death Company blob, I'm going to just throw out because I know it. You can do as a 15-man blob.
Yeah.
Okay, yes, they're 2 wounds now, but you can't transhume them. Like, I don't think they're survivable enough to fight last and not get shredded.
Yeah. There probably are some out there. I reckon there's a lot of Slanesh stuff out there.
I guess just weight of dice on them.
Weight of dice and stuff like that.
3 wounds apiece on your Terminators.
Cause some issues. Or single
wound
beaters, like Mortarion, Knights, Keeper of Secrets, etc. will come in and do a lot of damage. So maybe having them both. But yeah, what I like about this power is like the 2-for-1. So you pick your unit. It's -1 to all hit rolls as well. So it's like melee or shooting. That's great. And then if they get close to the Psyker, it's just -1 attack.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, please. I mean, again, it's more of a situational power, that one, because there are a lot of -1s to hit in the game anyway, through all your terrain rules or advancing or whatever, like Power Fist, etc. But it's strong. It's definitely,
God bless capping.
Yeah, it's probably definitely like a B. If I was to rate it, probably like a B-.
So then we got Righteous Reputes or something like that.
Righteous
Repugnance.
Yeah. Warcast 7.
Oh,
12
just
inches.
this
Pick
power
any
can
Pick any unit,
do one.
and immediately reroll all your hits and wounds.
Yeah, I mean, this is amazing. You look at something and it dies. Really,
It's gone.
You just, if you really want something dead, you combine this with other things that we'll talk about later with the strategy.
It is locked to melee though, isn't it? Yeah,
it is melee. Yeah. So, you put this on your Deathwing Knights, hitting on 2s, re-rolling, wounding most things on either like 4s or 2s to 3s, re-rolling. Probably better on like a big Deathwing Terminator squad with Power Fist and stuff, because you just be like, cool, -1 to hit. I'm re-rolling all of that as well, so you get more efficiency. It's a good power. It's a situational power, but when it comes up and you get that efficiency, you'll be loving it.
I think with one librarian, if you're running one librarian in a tournament setting, which is mine and Will's sort of bread and butter, I don't think it makes the cut.
Well, I'll go into a librarian build in a minute, but
So then you got Mind Wipe, Warcast 7, 18 inches, switches off 1 aura ability.
That makes the cut.
Well, this one caused a lot of hoo-ha when it was previewed. I admit, personally, I'm not the biggest fan of rules that take rules away from your opponent,
So it reduces the funsies.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, Jukai, Ages of Vet. Guilty.
Yeah.
No.
It's very awesome.
Yeah, but it costs you, 4 CP? And you have to roll for it? Like, it's not even guaranteed.
Yeah.
Back in the day, it was good. Now, not so much.
Yeah. Now it can be clutch though. If anyone saw the Las Vegas Open.
Yeah.
Oh, Brian pulling in the semi-final. That was a clutch fact. But yeah, back to the other Dark Army.
Okay,
switching off forwards.
Yeah, switching off forwards. I mean, this is just money. If you get this off, it's just money. Turning off like
when you're playing your army and you're relying on certain combos to work for you.
Yeah.
If your opponent's then going, "Oh, you're not having that one," it's like,
It is the only thing is it is a single aura, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because
one aura.
We in a niche.
Yeah.
Sort of way of us thinking. We were talking.
If that always reroll charge rolls for all units within 6 inches, suddenly they're not rerolling all these charges now.
Oh baby, that's nice.
Something like that could just take out the pain so much.
Yeah. You would generally use it to
Synapse.
strip Synapse. If that goes off,
Although, like, we spoke about this a bit, and I was like, actually, like, there's not many Tyranid armies that aren't running Synapse redundancy. So
yeah, definitely. But if it does come off, obviously the big one that people have been talking about is Mortarion. You can turn off some of his auras.
can you turn off his turn off auras? No,
Yeah,
turn off his turn off.
yeah, you can turn off his turn off.
Yeah. He's never had more of a headache in his life.
Literally. But yeah, it's good. It's there's so many key auras out there that it's never not going to be useful, you know.
Yeah. And then we got Engulfing Fear. So -1 leadership and no objective secure.
Oh, the big one.
So when that unit does finally get to that backfield secondary you've taken, you can just go, nope, I'm keeping it.
Yeah, this is probably my pick for the best psychic power in the book. This and the Fight Last one. It's just money. So you give a unit
the other part of it as well.
Yeah, you give a unit -1 leadership, and they lose obsec. What's really strong right now? 20-man blob of Necron warriors, like double obsec and all that stuff. There's Marines with their obsec auras with rights of war. You could just be like, nice, it's gone now.
Today.
And
and you were doing an action. Oh, it failed.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, and you can't do an action next turn.
Yeah, so this one's come with a kicker. If the result of your psychic test beats the leadership of the unit you're casting on, they can't do actions. They can't do action. And if they were performing an action, that action immediately fails.
Yes, with an inbuilt -1 leadership.
Yeah, with an inbuilt -1 leadership. So for War Charge 7 power, this is fantastic. It's so flexible and so useful. I love it. I love it. Yeah.
I think,
especially with
I said, by itself, it's not bad, but when you tie it into like what secondaries you have and what objective security you have, and they're all combined, it ends up just being a nasty ball of shit.
I say,
well, that's it.
What that power does as well is forces hands on your opponent's choices of secondaries. Like, I'm not taking things an action secondary. Like, I've run action monkey Tyranid lists. It's like, I'm not taking anything that I can't guarantee that I'm finishing in my own turn. Because if it's going to go over next turn, you just go, nope.
Yeah. And it's well, you know, 9th edition is all about, you know, scoring those primaries. And this screws with your opponent's plan to score those primaries.
Yeah.
It's just, I see this with the Ravenwing Knights. I'm not great with Dark Angel names, but you pre-game move. You sling onto, then you move again in your movement phase. Then you charge. You hit them with the stratagem for the grenade launcher.
Yeah.
So, you can't pull back. You just slap into something like, ideally, transport's big in the game at the minute. You wrap and trap a transport on an objective. They can't disembark. They can't fall back.
There's some powerful stuff. Yeah, there's some powerful stuff that can be done. Very powerful stuff. It makes me wish that Ravenwing still had the librarian on bike option.
Well, if we're playing Legends.
And there's one more power, I believe.
I've only got 5.
All right. Okay. Trephination. So this is so. Okay. So
Smite Junior.
Dark Angels will always know. Players, if you've been a long time Dark Angels player, Trephination has always been bad. Trephination is now so great, but it's the worst power in the book. That just shows how strong the rest of the book is, or the psychic table is. So it's Smite, War Charge 5, D3 mortal wounds. If your psychic test was higher than their leadership, it's flat 3 mortal wounds. I mean, you'll never take it because of unless you're running like 3 librarians for some reason. But the strength, because of the strength of the other powers, but it's solid. It's just solid. You know, it's just solid.
Which is mad. But it's like, I can easily get off 3 mortal wounds. Not even interested.
Yeah. This psychic discipline, you know,
best so far.
I don't like using the word auto include, but it makes librarians almost an auto include. You know, I think your list will be weaker without a librarian in it.
Yeah.
Like, as if you were doing like Ravenwing, and because I'm doing it in what would I do? I wouldn't go Deathwing. I've said that I'd go Biker Boys. I'd be looking at paying the tax for an auxiliary, like an auxiliary detachment, just to be like, yeah, Libby. I don't care that it doesn't get all the cool extra stuff, but
yeah,
I'd pay that CP just to have the librarian access.
Definitely. I think the biggest headache this gives Dark Angels players now is right. What librarians do we take? How many do we take? Yeah. What are we going to do with them? I personally think you take. Oh God. I personally think you take one, and you either take Ezekiel or you make a build your own librarian. The advantage that Ezekiel has, say, he gets +1 to cast Interromancy powers, so he doesn't get +1 to the smite, and he has a 4-up invuln built in. And as you all know, librarians never have invulns, so already that's really quite good. Yeah. He's 125 points, and he also has a thing where all Dark Angel core units within 6 of him get +1 attack, which doesn't stack with like Shock Assault or whatever. That's neither here nor there because look, you're not going to be in a protracted fight with Dark Angels Terminators for too long. But there's also the other thing you can take. So you can take either Librarian in Terminator armor or a regular Librarian. We'll have the Inner Circle and Deathwing keyword, so it's fine. You upgrade him to be the Chief Librarian.
Yep.
So he knows extra powers, can deny extra powers. You take the Tome of Malkador relic. So this guy is going to know 4 powers.
God.
Cast 3. He can cast 1 power from outside of the Interromancy discipline. You can give him the Warlord trait to give +1 to all the casts, like Ezekiel, but you get +1 to your smite and the other power. So you could take him with stuff like Null Zone.
I was going to say, surely like you're looking at Null Zone now, it'd be like, yeah, no invulns for you.
Yeah, Null Zone, Might of Heroes, and all that stuff. The problem is, obviously, it takes up a few more points. It takes up a Warlord slot. So you'll be spending heftily on these Warlord traits pre-game. But I like the flexibility of the build your own librarians. I think being able to have 4 powers and have +1 to cast all of them.
I like the way you don't even have fucking hand yet, and you're like, combos. I was like, for anyone who had the misfortune to play the Will's 8th edition Chaos list, which wasn't his Dark Angels, his actual Chaos list, it was just like the crazy stat combos that were like off meta. It's like, oh, it does this and this and this. It's like, yeah.
I hope next tournament you host now, someone turns up with a Dark Angels list, brings the librarian that you just said.
Oh, my net just cut out. There we go. We're back. Yeah, man. Look, as soon as COVID's all put to rest, I'm really looking forward to hosting tournaments again.
Someone just turns up with this overpowered librarian and goes, "Oh yeah, I've seen you told me to do this, so here it is."
Oh mate, I'd love it. Obviously,
the only thing I like about that, I bring my Tyranids and just be like, Kronos, nope. What's that? 7 to cast, nope.
Definitely some counters, yeah. But yeah, that's librarians and psychic powers of Dark Angels looking strong right now.
Then stratagems, you got something you want to highlight?
Oh, do I?
I haven't actually written down here.
The grenade stratagem.
Okay.
I love this so much. Where is it? What's it called? Status Shell. Ravenwing grenade launcher. 1 shot. If it hits, you can't fall back. Now imagine you can pre-move. So there's pre-game move strat as well.
Yeah. You
can run up to something little, hit it with that. It can't fall back. You're in their deployment, charging something. You can't then be touched.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like you're untouchable.
Granted, it only works on like infantry and bikes and stuff like that, but it is it's really strong. You can really go rapid up in someone's face, do all sorts of shenanigans because this stasis shell, the Ravenwing Dark Talon, the flyer, can also drop a bomb, does the same effect.
So you can do 2.
You could do 2
no fallbacks.
Oh, you could do 2 no fallbacks.
Do we pick against either flyer? Because or not? Because I reckon you'll just be taking Terminators and bikes and stuff.
Yeah, the problem with the flyer is both of them, to be fair, they're really pricey for what they do. I mean, the Dark Talon is amazing. Being able to do flat 3 mortal wounds is just so spicy, but it's priced too highly. I mean, the changes to bring it down helps them, but I don't think they do as much as, say, Terminators would do. Plasma Scepters, Blade Guard, Eradicators, Outriders.
Yeah, I think that's the stuff you'll see in the competitive side of it.
Yeah.
No, it was like, do you need 3 mortal wounds when your output is that high?
Yeah. I mean, like, if the message shifts and like certain things like these really big, because funnily enough, Dark Talons great against Dark Angels. You know, cool. You've got 3 wounds in your permatrans, or whatever like that. Cool. You just take 3 mortal wounds. But yeah, no, the flyers aren't amazing. But yeah, no, that is a really good stratagem. So one of the big things to note about the stratagem. So talking about what Dark Angels lost going into this book, they lost the ability for Ravenwing units to advance and charge,
and the Ravenwing Deathwing.
Yeah, the combined assault
combo.
to get Deathwing coming in from just over 6 inches away to have a 6-inch charge,
which is fine, except all you do is bring in a chaplain.
He's bringing a chaplain. Is still
with plus 2 to charge,
good.
And it's a 7-inch charge.
Yeah, that's what my really good. So some of my highlights. Let's see. I think there's going through all of them. So yeah, so this Ravenwing pre-game move is called the Hunt. It's 2 CP if it's 5 models or less, or 3 CP if it's more. You make a pre-game move. It's really good, but you'll notice here it's really expensive, very expensive. And your Ravenwing unit can go up, do some chaos, but then they die. I don't know if they'll be getting maximum value out of that. But
I think it just pairs with Stasis Shell so well.
Yeah.
On that, what for going?
Yeah.
I actually reckon it's maybe a better. Actually, yeah, maybe you don't need to get. Maybe that is a turn 2. Stasis Shell is one you want to be doing turn 2.
Yeah.
Because turn 1, obviously you're not getting the primary.
Yeah.
So taking someone's objective and locking it up isn't necessarily.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So some of my favorites. Oh, it's mostly Deathwing related. Okay, I'm going to start off with an honorable mention. I think this one is just so funny. Secret Agenda. So for 1 CP, you play with one of your mission secondaries hidden until you score points for it.
Oh.
Of course, stuff like bring it down.
Maelstrom or something.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. So you just hide an objective until you score it. It's hilarious.
Wait a minute, I just need to read that. Mission second. You can do something like. What's the ones you only score at the end? Like
assassinate, bring it down.
Yeah, like
while we stand, we fight.
Scoring. It's like.
Yeah, they're all end game scoring.
Yeah, because that's what I'm saying. A lot of it is end game scores.
Yeah,
it's
obviously a lot of people play it as you score it, but it does say end game.
Yeah, assassinate. Basically, all the stuff for killing your opponents and stuff is. you could bait them out. You could be like, "Oh, I'm going after all your vehicles and stuff." Oh, actually, I've got while we stand, we fight. And stuff like that. It's hilarious. It's such a funny, fits into the whole Dark Angel theme of like secrets and agendas and everything.
Sneaky.
Probably won't be allowed in events because you need to have all your information up front to run a good event, but it's pretty hilarious. Line Unbreakable. So when the Blood Angels Codex came out and they got Angel Sacrifice,
everyone was like, "Oh my god, it's so good! It's a little bit too much." Keep your
Line Unbreakable.
That, but better.
1 CP. So this is one of the rare ones where it's 1 CP. Use at the start of the fight phase. You select a Dark Angels infantry unit, Deathwing, Eradicators, whatever you want. Okay. That unit can only be selected for melee attacks by enemy models if the enemy model is within engagement range. This specifically turns off the half an inch within half an inch to fight. It turns off ranks. So only that first rank of what is in combat with you can fight you. This is unbelievably strong. You can set your units up. So like there's a lot of terrain where, you know, there's choke points and stuff like that. Yeah. They might only be able to fit one model in after pylons and stuff like that. And it's kind of cool. You're only fighting me with that one Sanger Guard. It's so good. It's so good. You know, another thing that just Deathwing, they really feel like just absolute shield wall that are and GW have designed them to, you know, break in crashing waves, you know, survive it and come out on top. It's the implications of this stratagem are just so good, just to absolutely limit the number of attacks. And then if you've got that psychic power off, you've minus their attack, they're -1 to hit, then your Deathwing just aren't dying if everything goes to Candyland, you know. So that's a really good like A tier stratagem for me. I like this Deathwing
Dark Age.
Weapons of the Dark Age is back. It's exactly the same as it used to be, but it just costs 2 CP now.
Plasma Receptors!
Crap. Plasma Scepters were already like probably the best unit. Definitely the best Marine unit. Probably the best unit in the game. Even with the points increase. Holy. No. So for 2 CP, choose unit, all their plasma weapons get +1 damage till the end of the phase.
Disgustingly resilient. That's cute.
Oh, God.
With a captain in tow.
Yeah, it is so powerful. It really gives Death Guard headaches, you know. Really give Death Guard headaches. Plasma Scepters are already giving Death Guard headaches anyway because they were in tactical, they're -4, and your Plague Marines aren't getting a save, and they just have so many bloody shots. But yeah, no, this is great. It's fantastic for the Redemptor Dreadnought as well with Plasma. It's great for Black Knight. It's just great for anything that has Plasma on it. With this Plasma Scepters though, it just absolutely pushes them over the edge. It is so strong. Expect most armies to be using that once, twice, 3 times a game. That's what I'd look out for if you're up against Dark Angels. See what's got Plasma.
It's just that many options in this book.
It's that many options.
For the top competitive players, it's going to be how much fun they can have. Like this is a dream come true. They can do everything they want in their heads.
Absolutely, this book has got so much in it that any player
and it's only pulling from 2 codexes.
Yeah,
not 4 or 5 chaos codexes.
But yeah, this is such a deep book that any player can just really get what they want out of it, be it a narrative force, you know, crusade force, competitive, casual like game night. It is loving the book. Let's see what else is good. Yes, for Deathwing Knights, no foe too great to subdue, which is such a cool name.
Because you know they needed more help.
Yeah, 2 CP. When a Deathwing unit Knights are going to fight, their maces, so not the flail, get +1 to wound. Happy days. So they're strength 8. So they'll be wounding minimum things in the game on 3s, most things on 2s. And they get an extra AP against monsters and vehicles.
Wounding Knights on 3.
Yeah. So let's think about this.
So Blood Angel with a Thunderhammer.
Yeah. So, okay. You are in Assault Doctrine. Use this on your Deathwing Knights. You're hitting on 2s. You're probably re-rolling, let's be fair. You are wounding Knights, Greater Demons, stuff like that on either 2s or 3s. You're re-rolling those wounds because of the Deathwing Doctrine. And you get extra AP for doing it.
For the lols.
It's so good. Deathwing Knights are a serious thing. Minimum 5 of. They are that good. So that helps. That helps. Yeah, it just helps loads. Let's see what else is good. Tactical Appraisal, I really like. It's 1 CP. Using the command phase, you select a Dark Angel's unit. So this is any unit, not restricted to the core keyword, within 6 of your Warlord, and you put them in any doctrine you want. Any doctrine. So I don't know, you need to get an objective that you're just out. Cool. Put that Ravenwing unit in Devastator Doctrine. Get that extra move. Put that Talamas in Devastator Doctrine with the Arbiter's Gaze. Gets that extra move. Advances. Can still shoot. Hitting everything on 2+. Amazing. Someone's charging you early game. Stuff like that. Cool. Put your Deathwing into Assault Doctrine straight away. You know, when those Keeper of Secrets trash.
The other book, there's so much of this like doctrine, be able to change yourselves around, like behave as if it's this.
Yeah, lots of doctrine manipulation going on here. Lots of it. It's so nice. What other ones are quite nice?
Can we take a pause for a second? Because I will be right back.
Yeah, sure, no worries.
You need to prove.
Yeah.
I need to pee.
But yeah, man, as currently going through this book, I'm just so excited. Like, just having all the options, you know, that are available to me. I'm like, I can just run a pure, nice, cool little Ravenwing force to hunt Fallen, or a pure Deathwing force. I can run a mixture. I can go plasma heavy. I can go bike heavy, speeder heavy, terminate heavy. You know, I want to be really good at holding objectives and holding the line. I want to be really good at being swift, mobile, and attacking threats. I want to be a deep strike army. It's, the options are so tasty. They've really hit it out of the park with this book, I think.
Yeah.
Time's obviously going to sell.
It makes you think whether or not they started doing this after Ninth was started. Like the other codexes, I think may have been thought beforehand.
Yeah.
After maybe some playtesting and stuff.
Yeah. And
that's one of the newer ones to come out with actual knife in play.
Yeah. I think this book was definitely play tested and nearly put to completion probably before 9th edition dropped. Before the Marine and Necron Codex dropped. That is I reckon they've been playtesting this for a while, and they've definitely had they've definitely got a clear direction of where they want Dark Angels to go now, which is nice to see.
Makes you wonder what the other codexes are going to be like.
I know. I'll go on to that.
You think how many people have gone out and gone Salamanders? Yeah. Now Dark Angels has come out.
Yeah, hey, at least they're still green.
You're going to see a lot of Iron Fist Manders. Running as Dark Angels.
Who's to say, like, 2 months down the line, another Marine Codex comes out? Maybe that.
What's literally Marine Codex wise?
Black Templars. Well, okay, it's not confirmed Black Templars getting a supplement, but they've got an index, and it's most likely they'll get a supplement.
Which I think they're unique enough. I'm treating Grey Knights as probably going to be a whole codex rather than
Grey Knights will be a whole codex because they're not actually. So Grey Knights don't use the main Marine Codex.
Oh yeah, no problem.
What else you got left to come out? You got Custodes.
What, Imperial or just
in general?
So we've got all the Eldar factions.
Yeah.
Cult,
Custodes had Mech Sisters.
Even Ultramarines, they're still using 8th edition supplement.
Yeah, I'm unsure if they're going to update the supplements for the the codex specific chapters. I've heard that they won't be getting a new book, and they'll be using their 8th supplements, which was written more with 9th in mind. But to be honest with you, if they do re-release them, this will just be crazy. Just be crazy. But yeah, no, all the codexes have come out so far have been really good. And looking through more of these stratagems, there's a lot of Ravenwing based ones. Ravenwing can basically fight and then move. Extremely powerful. Extremely powerful.
Having been on the receiving end of you doing that with Custodes,
I'm gonna fight you. I'm then gonna go onto this objective, or I'm gonna go get my engage on all fronts, or something like this. Another interesting thing to note as well. Black Knights, Ravenwing Black Knights, they have the inner circle keyword. So under the laws of the detachment builder, you can include them in a Deathwing list. So if you need a bit of mobility, you could just take a couple of Black Knights.
Well, I don't know, it wouldn't break with
It wouldn't break it because it's
Inner Circle.
or Deathwing or Inner Circle. Black Knights have Inner Circle.
Oh, yeah.
So if you want a bit of mobility and don't want to run into Plasma Scepters, take a few squads of Ravenwing Black Knights. You got your mobility, weapons of the Dark Age. Looking pretty good. Looking pretty good. But yeah, and then you've got like your standard ones like your extra relics, extra warlord traits, successors, things, and all that stuff. Targeting guidance is nice. 2 CPs in your shooting phase. You select an enemy unit within 18 inches and visible to a Ravenwing land speeder. So that includes the new storm speeders and all that stuff. The fancy Primaris ones. The rest of your army gets +1 to hit against that unit. So if you're going,
yeah, I mean, think about that turn 1 when you can advance all your Ravenwing
yeah,
for -1, and then you go, cool.
Yeah,
against this unit, we're now
absolutely
back to
hitting on normal. Yeah, yeah, it's really great for Ravenwing / Greenwing armies. This one. But yeah, I think that's most of the stratagems that are of any use. There's one where using the command phase, and then each time you make a attack with a weapon,
yeah,
relating to which doctrine it is, 6s are extra AP. I mean, cool.
Yeah.
Don't really care, but it's good, just not as good as the others. And because your CP is going to be so limited, you probably aren't going to be using it on that. But yeah, that's most of the stratagems, which well, they're good, they're solid, they're to the point, and they support what the army wants to do.
That's just generally being the term for this whole. It's like, yeah, it's good. It's like it's not been anything really. We're going nah, like because I mean, Deathwing is looking like hyper competitive, but
yeah,
from what I've seen, I reckon I could do a fun, like pretty unpleasant Ravenwing. It's not as survivable, but oh my god, the tricks.
Well, OBSEC Outriders.
Yeah.
So if we're talking proper competitive Dark Angels,
yeah,
what do you think we're going to see mostly in top list?
Terminators,
Deathwing Patrol.
Deathwing. You're gonna see a Librarian. You're gonna see Deathwing Knights. You're gonna see an Apothecary, because let's not forget, once they do crack through and kill some that start killing your boys, you just res them. I believe as well, because you could take a Ravenwing. Okay, so oh no, that won't work.
What's that?
Taking a detachment as well. Okay, because you could take Black Knights in a Deathwing detachment. If you take a Black Knight squad, you can take a Ravenwing Apothecary or one of the Ravenwing characters without taking up a slot. So you could pop. I was thinking you could probably pop your Ravenwing Apothecary into the Deathwing detachment, but I think, because of the it won't have the right.
It doesn't take a slot, but
even though it doesn't take up a slot, it's still in your
detachment, so it doesn't have Inner Circle.
That would be dirty. So you're going to see an Apothecary. You're going to see an Ancient, because you're going to see the -1 damage banner and stuff like that. You're probably going to see a Chaplain. You're going to see a lot of characters. Deathwing Terminators, Command Squads, at least one. Deathwing Knights, at least one. Mishmash of characters. And you're probably going to see, well, once you have that as your core, it's basically what you have to add flavor, Plasma Inceptors, Black Knights, wow, just anything. You could even go Patrol, get some Eradicators in, Outriders.
That many fucking options.
So many options, yeah. Like, it's like once we can start playing again, I'm looking forward to see what I can do with this book and test different things out, But it's.
Well, I want to see you do an Outrider Vanguard.
Yeah, I will.
Just go all in and just be like, right, no green wing.
On the other side of the coin, what do you think will be good to counter Dark Angels?
Water wounds.
Water wounds.
Water Mortal
Small
wounds. Mortal wounds.
I'm going to take 27 and then have another 18 in reserve. And just...
Mortal wounds and speedy armies that don't need to engage with the Deathwing to score points.
Because the first thing that comes to my head is, unless I played against a lot, was Paddy's Tyrannid Horde list.
Yeah.
Which has all the mortal wounds from the psychics.
Yeah.
And just that many gords and stuff that you can kill them. I mean, it does not matter one bit.
Yeah, literally.
But I think the problem that I run into is turning off Obsec and stuff like that. It's just to be like, it's going to be okay. Yeah, Kronos is your general.
So with Obsec, obviously, if you both have Obsec, it comes down to amount of models, doesn't it?
Amount of models, yeah.
If you're facing a horde.
Yeah, if you're facing a horde, and if you manage to turn off that horde's Obsec, cool. It doesn't matter. You've got that point. But if you both got Obsec, then you do need to start smashing away at the hordes. Which luckily, you can get a bajillion attacks with your Terminators, because there's warlord traits and relics and stuff that we can get into if you want. But there's it's mortal wounds and highly mobile armies that don't need to engage with you to play the game can do quite well.
I think the problem is going to be, especially on those 5
Necrons as well, can do quite well with a high rate of fire and AP.
Those 5 objective games though, like they're just going to go out mid-board, take that central objective, and then it's come at me.
Yeah,
like they're just the primary game is going to be so strong. Then it's just going to
warlord trait wise, for the Dark Angels, you probably, I don't know, you're probably going to see quite a few good ones. You're probably going to see maybe Imperium Sword if you're going for like a smash smash character. Let's see what the Dark Angels one have. They've got a really funny one where if your warlord dies, you don't remove the model until the start of the next phase. Next turn. It's just so good. He just stays there, gets to fight and everything. 6-inch rate. There's a really nice one, Decisive Tactician, +1, an aura of +1 to advance and charge for core units. That's really good. So it's like the Blood Angels. The Blood Angels tactic, but limited. Caliber Knight, Dark Angel units. There's the one where aura gets of 6 inches. Dark Angel units get +1 strength if the Warlord was charged or intervened. That's okay. But you'll probably see a lot of the main book ones. You'll probably see Rite of War and probably Imperium Sword. Yeah, and probably the special upgrade ones. You're going to see Selfless Healer for your Apothecary. You're probably going to see the Ancient upgraded one. You're probably going to see the Librarian upgraded one as well. So to be fair, you're already looking at 3 warlord traits off the bat before you even look into the Dark Angel.
Dark Angel ones. That's you've maxed out then, haven't you? Is that right?
Yeah. The relics are looking good. The awesome one is the Penance of Remembrance. So that one is going back to what we're going to see in Dark Angel's list. You're going to see that.
Yeah. To
give the -1 damage. The Cup of Retribution for your chaplain. You auto recite it once. You can't do any other litanies that turn. But going back to getting these attacks against this horde, it just gives you +1 attack.
Yeah.
You combine this with Shock Assault or Ezekiel's thing if
if you're not charging.
Yeah. It's so good. And this is without even going into their own the power of their own secondaries is combined with everything that we've talked about.
Yeah.
It just Dark Angels are here. They're not your friends, and they're going to hurt you.
Well, I will say, what it is nice to see is Dark Angels. Okay, the index was hella strong, but they've definitely been one of the suckier Marine chapters.
Because anytime they got anything good recently, it was like instant nerf, take away. But honestly, man, people are like, oh no, they're not going to keep perma transhuman. It couldn't possibly. It's way too strong. It's like, how about they keep it and more? It's so good, man.
Yeah.
Dark Angels, they're going to be a force. But this compounds the fact, more than anything, of the problem of like the release schedule at the moment. It's all these new codexes are doing so well. And I'm like, I play, so obviously I play Thousand Suns and Drukhari as well. Well, Drukhari is a bad example because we're out soon, but fucking how long am I going to wait till my K-Suns get the nice wound update and all this stuff and everything like that? You know, it could be next year. It could be 2022 if they're going to keep up. You know, with everything going on in the world, like one codex release a month. And you know, month after month, you see these Dark Angel books coming out, the fucking like Necron power level, the Blood Angels power level coming out, and you just feel like, wow,
everything's getting more killy.
Yeah, I get like, you know,
sitting here with my toughness free fish people.
Yeah, that's it. So the Drukhari Codex is going to be a massive one. You know, I'm really excited to see that one coming off the tail end of this, because we've seen
Martin is as well.
Yeah, because what have we seen? We've seen now hyper durable, cannot be killed unit to a squishy, look at them funny and they die army. You know, it'll give a good indication of how people can feel about what their codex will be like going forwards.
Yeah,
eventually when it comes, but obviously we don't know. We don't know, but I expect players out there to get the most out of these Dark Angel events. So obviously there's not any events happening where we are right now, but Australia and New Zealand and all that stuff, they'll do some crazy stuff down there.
Tyranids is still top of the meta.
He's got 10th edition.
Yeah, that's it, isn't it? It will be that sort of time. But no, yeah, I absolutely love what they've done with this book. It's strong. It's flexible. Sounds like my ideal woman, this. And it just gives you everything you want. You know, it's just this.
It's a triple threat.
Yeah, it's this is such a good book. And even the Crusade, like I've checked out the Crusade rules and like the fluff and all that stuff. This is probably, like, you know, without being too biased, this is probably the best written book of 9th edition so far. And I will go down on record saying that right now it is the best book that they've did. Yeah. You know, obviously until they release my Custodes, and then that's where they are permanent transhuman, -1 damage.
And you'll sell your Dark Angel army for the second time.
No. I've got my armies now that I want to stick with, and
I think that's what's good about 9th at the minute. I will say there's any trash codexes.
No, it's not.
They can all be made competitive.
Yeah, well, for example, the Space Wolves one is generally seen as the weakest codex out at the moment, and in Australia, good old Down Under,
I disagree.
They yeah, of all the codex released, that is.
Yeah.
In Australia, they've just taken 1st and 3rd in a GT. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Australia meta doesn't count.
Yeah, all the current codexes can hang with each other, without a doubt. There's not one that's way more powerful than the other. They're just powerful in their own like different ways. Like you know, you see Necrons, for example. Necrons will shred through a Ravenwing army. They'll do some damage against a Deathwing army, but then they lose like hard to like fucking, you know, Blood Angels and shit like that.
Yeah, two strings around belts.
Yeah, that's it. But if this book is an indication of how the rest of the books are going to be, I feel like 9th is going to be in a great place. You know, the only bad thing is having to wait until your army gets your time to shine.
Yeah. Do we think we're going to see heavy intercessors in Dark Angels?
Yeah, you can see them in lists.
I think
not good lists.
It's a tough one though, because it's like you don't need them.
Yeah,
like you don't. It's an expensive troop choice.
Literally,
if you're taking your patrol,
yeah,
you want to keep that like just a cheap intercessor squad or something. Just be like,
yeah,
boom, stick it on the back objective. Just leave.
I look at it. 140 points for five dudes with 3 wings apiece. It's really cool. They don't.
Obviously, they are Gravis armor. You got
They're,
strats.
they're Gravis armor, so strat for the plus
But
one.
they're still so strat
Same
expensive.
one. Yeah, that's it. Now you look at 140 points, and I look at that and I'm like, that's 2 Deathwing command squads. That's gonna do the same thing better with transhuman. Can hide them better, and can rumble with units want to come close, because really you're going to want to use heavy intercessors to hold objectives.
Yeah.
And they just don't seem to have the output that I would like for that price. They seem very chip damage. Like I would shoot them at a unit and I don't think they would do what I want them to do. They'll finish off a guard squad or like a squishy squad, something like that. Yeah. But I don't think you'll see too many competitively. Yeah. There's some really cool lists you can have, I reckon, in Green Wing, where you take a lot of heavy intercessors, you just park them on objectives, you get the +1 to hit, use the Raven Wing to re-roll hits against stuff to try and maximize the efficiency of your chip damage and stuff. Yeah. But yeah,
if you don't want to play highly competitive, you're not going to take the Vanguard or the Spearhead. You want to take the Battalion. Chuck the heavy intercessors in, chuck the fire in.
Yeah,
you got to try a nice, fun, but still tough.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Like what I'd probably see is like some heavy intercessors, some infiltrators. Yeah. So you could be like, cool, you can't deploy, so you can't deep strike against this objective that I'm on, And then when you are in, I'm going to be +1 to hit you in melee, and I get to shoot you, and I get +1 to hit there, and I'm obsec. It's so cool. It's so cool. I'm probably going to experiment with like a Green Wing list, because I do like the Green Wing. But yeah, heavy intercessors probably won't be in like if a positive record Dark Angels list, but they're a great unit and probably will be seen in less like your game nights down at your local.
Yeah, because previous all the rules getting released, like I know you were like awesome heavy intercessors for my Dark Angels.
I was really hot on them,
and I was like, I can make an army of all the stuff I want to make an army with, and it'll work.
Yeah, that's it. I was so hot on them, but then they just not enough bodies, not too pricey.
What you can have.
Yeah. Here's heavy intercessors, or here's Terminators. Going on to that. Freaking the support for firstborn stuff is so strong in this book as well. So strong. So if you're like if you don't like Primaris that much, you're a Dark Angels player, this book is really giving you those options where you don't need any Primaris units really.
Calls new toys.
No, isn't it?
You don't need to get rid of all fucking firstborn. Yeah. Then next edition, turn them all into legends.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, they've got to clear the stock out of the warehouse.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's it. Oh, that'd be a sad day if that ever happens, man.
I can see it happen.
All I'm saying is, I'm glad I sold my Blood Angel army with my scout detachment before they got taken out back and shot.
I remember, man, Jesus. I remember like buying Dark Angels the first time in like 2003, and I was just there with like a Vindicator with the metal parts in it, some Assault Marines, and some basic dudes. I'm like, oh, these are so cool. It'd be a shame to see them go out, but yeah, no, it's fantastic, and I can't wait to put these on the table. And play against some guys, and
they look really good. I can't wait to kill them.
I can't wait to try play against them as well. I'd love to run my Custodians against Dark Angels and see what happens.
Yeah, Graham can take your Dark Angels.
And I was like, what is this durable list?
Yeah, what is this?
What is this durability you speak of?
Yeah, man. And I think it's just stuff as well. For all your Terminator squads, 5 points, you can take a Watcher in the dark, and it just gives you a deny, which is like great. And if it's against Chaos, it rerolls. It's just you've just got everything. It costs you either
5 point deny is nuts.
Yeah. and you're just like, cool, here we go. It's such a good book.
Like,
Such
25 points to have a deny a turn.
Yeah.
Arguably,
yeah.
you don't probably need one for turn 1 because it's probably not going to be in range anyway.
I think the biggest thing going forward to crafting a really successful Dark Angels list is going to get the balance of characters to Terminators right. It's going to be so easy to try and fit in so many characters, but people need to recognize where there's redundancy and just go where, like, okay, cool, Captain, Chaplain, Librarian, and an Ancient. Do I need all of these? Can I fit them all? Yes, let's go.
There you have it.
Yeah, that's it. But right now, would I say Dark Angels are the strongest book? Yep. Are they the best army? In the right hands? Yeah. In the right hands right now.
I mean, you're tempting me into a Ravenwing army. I'm not going to lie.
They can make the best list. They could definitely make the best lists by having the deepest options. So I look forward to seeing what people can do with them.
Then Drukhari Codex comes out and counters it completely.
This is it. This is one thing about the hype crowd, isn't it? Like, oh, every codex has come out. Without fail, there are people saying it's broken, it's too powerful, and stuff like this. But it's just become standard now that the new codexes are just like, oh, really, really dumb and cool. So expect, like, when Drukhari out in a couple of weeks, people will forget about Dark Angels and be like, oh, Drukhari, this is too strong. This is
Drukhari is still paying for past sins. So
people now are already like salamanders. Who's that?
Yeah. Salamanders were storming out the gates tonight, and now they're like, well, they're not White Scars. They're not
White
Blood
Scars
Angels,
aren't Ravenwing,
and they're not. None of these are Dark Angels. It's so good. It's so good, man.
I don't often regret like getting rid of my Blood Angels, but I'd love to Barney Dark Angels, Blood Angels.
That would be sick. Well, there's a battle rep coming out soon with that on the old YouTubes. Check it out. Yeah, I would definitely be.
Anything else you want to add before we wrap it up?
For Dark Angels, no, it's like Will has put through a lot. It's like, it's like this book has everything. Like, you can go into absolute filth competitive level, and yeah, it's definitely. And like I've said a few times, it's like I just see it and I was like, man, you could do some cool stuff by you could have an all bike army and it'll work. Like there's choices,
One of the things I just hope not everybody jumps on the bandwagon, because I think with the codex,
it's dangerous
up here.
Yeah,
people would option play the armies you love to play.
Yeah. I mean, bandwagoning will happen. I mean, there are players out there who play the game purely just to
the best army,
to play the best army, get a good record playing the best stuff, and that's fine if they want to play it. But there'll be a lot of it, and when it dies down, they'll bugger off to the next one. And
I just hope that there's a lot of talk that all the codexes were written similar times and. I mean, hopefully everything.
One thing I hope we don't see is like people with custom marine armies then going, this is now Dark Angels. The standard bikes and stuff like that. That's
going to happen. We're going to see Iron Fist salamanders, ultras as Dark Angels for a while. Maybe.
You know what I mean? Though, like people pick their armies like an odd colour, and then just go right. They're playing as this today.
Yeah, that's it. Well, wait a minute, where is it? If anyone knows, I am loyal, and I do paint my Marines as the chapter they are going to be. So yeah, that's what I've been working on painting.
You know what? Like, there was a few times I was like, oh, maybe it would be nice to try my Blood Angels. There's like there was the red Imperial Fist successor chapter. And I was just like, unfortunately, like I just go so heavy into specialist units. So like I was just like, right, what have I got? I've got like 30 Death Company and 20 Sentinel.
let's not forget the LVO winner, Rich Siegler. All his Iron Hands were Blood Angels. But yeah, what I'd like to add is for people who have seen this book and are like, "Oh, this is too powerful. I'm going to join the game." Don't fret. Don't fret. Your time will come. If you're playing at the moment, if you're in an area where you can play and all that stuff, just talk with your opponent and be like, "Look, let's try and balance up this game a bit so you just don't goober stomp me and all that stuff. I want to have a fun game." And your time will come. Your book will come, be it Eldar, Custodes, or Tau, Tyranids. Your time will come, and you'll be able to hang with these books without fretting. Without having to dive into mono builds or certain builds or anything like that. And yeah. Just,
as well. I've never managed to take your Custodes down with my Nids, but early 9th, that was such a horrible matchup. But I pushed you hard.
Yeah,
every army can still play the game.
Definitely. So don't be put down by it, and anything, be encouraged by it. If the books that are coming out are this good, your book is going to be pleasing. Your book is going to be great. So
I'm sure a lot of people have actually even played 9th edition. Yeah, with COVID. I don't know, a lot of our local community. A lot of them have to isolate because of family and stuff.
Yeah,
they haven't even played one game in 9th edition yet.
Yeah, no, literally. So people, hold judgment until you face it and see it in action for yourself, and just wait till the time. Time will come.
I think we were quite lucky in Cornwall because we had the tier 1, didn't we?
Tier 1, yeah. We managed
the rest of the country been.
I grinded games out so hard.
Literally, we did. We managed to squeeze one event out before lockdown came again, and yeah, no, it was good. It was good to see people playing before that, and I hope, with everything going on in the world, I hope everyone's staying safe and that we'll all be playing again soon, and I look forward to seeing you guys again, definitely. And
if it doesn't change soon, I'm going to move in one of my fucking back reps members in.
Yeah, do it. Yeah, get that content out. You gotta yourself.
You got to put up with the Spaniels, eh?
Man, I'm going to start playing with them soon.
Yeah, that's it. Just use them as Warlord Titans on the table.
Will keeps talking about playing with himself, but I'm not sure that's to do with Warhammer.
That's right. It's exactly what you think it is.
And on that note, I think we should.
Yeah, cheers for having us, Martin.
Brilliant. Yeah, thanks for having us on.
Cheers for coming on, guys. Thanks for all your opinions.
Anytime.
Hopefully, we'll have you on again soon if you want to be.
Oh yeah, definitely. Anytime, man. When the Custodes book is out, I'll be knocking on your email address and be like, "Yeah, Martin."
You guys got anything you want to shout out to promote?
Oh, I'll obviously check my Instagram on painting. There's Just G Minis. There's some Tau on the way soon, with some very green bases.
I'd just like to give a shout out to Red Ruth Wargaming events. Please look at that when for local events in the southwest of Cornwall area when that's coming. We'll be running events regularly when COVID's done, and also to Mysteria, the place where we game at, and yeah.
Puck.
Gonna plug it all.
Right. Cheers for coming on then.
Cheers, Martin.
Cheers and gone.
Cheers and gone.
That's it for this week, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video and I gave you some ideas for Dark Angels. Maybe take away a bit of that negativity towards them. So make sure you check out our channel for the rest of battle reports and weekly Wasson videos like this. So if you haven't already, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you again next time. Cheers and gone.